Hello everybody. This is a darker episode, so if you're in a mood for a dark conversation, I'm here. Thank you all for joining me. Depressing stuff happens in life. Be really dark. That painting you see on the table is one I painted about 1.5 years ago called Depression. And at the time, it was my most viewed painting. It got like, you know, a couple hundred likes and shared over many groups. It's pretty amazing. And then I started videoing myself, and not too long after that I did a Facebook Live video of its counterpart, antidepressant. And, you know, they're still some of my favorite work I've ever done. They both took me maybe 10 minutes to paint because of the style I do. But they always, you know, they were made because of depressing parts of my life. They were made because of people who became antidepressants in my life. Wouldn't let me be depressed over certain, you know, like families' deaths.
Subscribing. Much love to all.
You know, about 5 years ago, I lost one of my best friends. I'm sure you've seen where it says Slick by the Fart Studios right there. Right there where it says Slick. That was where we celebrated Slick's life, because, you know, one of my best buddies, a diabetic, he died of an infection. And it messed me up, man. I still miss Slick like you guys will never know. I used to talk to him every day on the ride home from work. He was my phone call, him or my dad. Well, then, a couple years later, my dad passed away. And, that hit me like a 1,000,000-pound weight. Losing Dad really hit me hard. So I got focused on my art. And my family, of course. I've always been focused on my family. My wife and kids, dinner every night, work hard. But we all have depressing moments, you know, just things happen where you just like, tragedies in the world will sink me into a very depressing day. You know, some psychopath mows down 1 million people. I'm depressed about the loss of life. Yeah, I don't know. I was chatting with my mum on the phone the other day, I don't remember when. And, she says one of her mates from work took time off of work because of depression. I mean, my mom couldn't understand it. And I had to explain it to my own mother that the loss of her husband, not my father, she was upset about my father, but they were already divorced. The loss of her husband, about a year before my dad passed, Jim, that has sunk her into a depression that she's wasn't even completely aware about it. It's just part of her life now. And that's where some of my paintings come from. Some of my favorite images I've made, like this one, the loner. I've made it in a million different ways. I appreciate that, John. I appreciate everybody who's talking in. I'm reading the comments as I go. Sorry if I don't comment back, but I just thought I would just give you guys my thoughts on depression and how it's affected me or any of you. You know, I had a friend who I've never met before message me the other day. I'm going to leave their identity disclosed. They're going through something totally traumatizing through their life with their family, and they just messaged me, said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm laying in bed."
Thanks very much.
Not using speak text because Mary's sleeping next to me, but I can still type. And they said, "Oh, don't let me bother you." And I said, "You're not bothering me. We're friends. Even though we've never met in life, we're friends. Don't you worry about it. If you've communicated with me through Messenger and we've gotten to know each other via enough text you could write a novel, I consider you my friend." Okay? And I kind of talked that person down. They sent me a very touching voice message, and I could just hear the hurt in their heart. So I stayed up for another 35 minutes just chatting with them, saying anything, sending them a video here, a picture of a painting here, whatever I could to try to help them, because I know what depression is. Don't let this funny exterior, I mean, even people who most people don't like. Lou here. You guys know who I'm talking about. I guess I put on a good enough show. He thinks that I am my own biggest fan. Which is totally wrong about me, Lou, just so you know. I am on a constant mission to do better and be better because of my own depression or lack of self-worth, okay? So for you to think that, it just kind of blows my mind. It must mean I guess I am a pretty good actor, because I try to stay positive and put on a great show for you folks. I try to stay positive for my kids, you know, when they come home from school. Every day my kids come home, I stop what I'm doing. "Hey Dad, how are you? How was your day? What you do in school today?" We try to have dinner tonight, every night together as a family. But I stay so positive and put so much positive out there because I know of all the negatives. You know? I have felt like a loner for a very long time until I met some of you guys. But you know, because of y'all, I get inspired to do paintings like this. And that was new for me. I thought I'm gonna mix maybe this style with that style and add a little bit of this style and see what we come up with. That's kind of what happened yesterday, and I thought it was one of my best works for an imaginary world. And I never really considered myself a comedian until you guys you know, talked me into it, really. But this playlist right here should tell you guys I have dealt with depression if you've listened to the past few songs that have come on. You know, it's part of who I am and who we are. You know, as a group, a community. And I have learned to deal with the online bullies, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. But just feeding them love constantly, because I'm not gonna put out evil. It's not who I am. So you know, I'm just here to tell you guys I'm putting on a good show, and you know, even when I am trying to sell products, I am trying to make something of myself. That's what all this effort for, you know. You don't see a guy put out close to 1,000 videos since January because he thinks he's the greatest thing to come to the planet, okay? That's a guy who wants to make himself be great, okay? Hope you're feeling better, Kentucky Ranger. I was worried about you. You know, it takes a lot of courage to, in my mind, to do what we do. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself on video and put what you think is creative, what you think you want to show the world, whether it's good or not, out there. It takes, you know, it doesn't take someone who thinks they're full of themselves, okay? Because I don't. You can get that out of your head. I am far from thinking I'm full of myself. I don't have 2,000 something paintings in my house and 3,000 paintings around the world that I mainly gave away for free because I think I'm Michelangelo or anything. You know? I definitely don't think I'm the next Da Vinci, who is one of my favorite of those era type artists because he was an inventor, a craftsman, and a painter. He's one of my favorites. I'm glad I can help you deal with your lows when I can. It took a lot for me. It took like a bunch of Facebook Live. It took a bunch of it took a lot. Oh, I missed one of your uploads. And I say your name wrong, but I missed Eva's trip to our pumpkin patch. I had seen your previous one up to that. I've watched all your videos from the beginning because you got to know me through the comments, and I thought, let's see what you got. But when I look at my own playlist and I look back at what all I've done, and I think, I did read. I have been reading. I haven't been able to comment back. I have the comments in my hands. They're not on that screen. I just didn't want to put my face on the screen until in case I got emotional, because, you know, for my kids' sake, my wife's sake, I try to be the tough guy who can handle a burn. You know? I do have something proud to talk about today. I made it through this prescription of drugs, and I still have over a dozen left that I don't think I'm going to take it all. I didn't take one today. I think I can handle the pain that my body is giving me now, because I hate these things. They give you constipation. They make you not who you are. Can't stand them. And yeah, Lou, the Vegas thing is kind of one of the reasons I'm sitting here talking to y'all, because it's gotten into my head. I don't... I don't try this hard because I think I'm God's gift to the earth. I try it because I fight depression, just like everybody does. I believe everybody fights depression, you just don't know you do. I don't like those pills at all, I hate them. But losing everything, sun going down on me. Oh man, yeah, conspiracies are ridiculous. But like even this year, and I'm gonna try to put the link down to his art below. You know, I lost a really great friend and fartist who has a fart page, John. And I still think about him every day. I mean, we messaged each other all the time. I miss you, John. I keep him close by. He's up there loving the Cowboys up in wherever he is. You know, when Chris Carnell lost his life because of taking his life, man, that hit me hard. Someone committing suicide? Bye, Rosie. Love ya. Thanks for getting to know me well enough to where I consider you a friend. No, I am getting rid of those. I just did need them for the pain. I mean, look. Look at my hand. It still hurts, but I don't need them now. But there isn't a... I mean, I say good morning to my dad and Slick every morning because their picture is up in the ceiling. It's not easy. But I try to be happy and hyper, like you just said, Lou. I show off good, positive, always trying to put it out there as be good to one another, whatever, you know. But I try to see the good in everybody. That's me. And I think I just wanted to address this situation to people who want to listen. I didn't want to say hell no, Ranger. I'm sorry. It was the most pain I had ever dealt with, and my hands are hurting right now, but I can handle that kind of pain. There was something you said recently, Lou, that, you know, really, it tugged on my heartstrings. I'm going to go ahead and say it. When you showed how good of a father and, I don't know if your husband, fiance, boyfriend, or whatever you are to your own. You know, you said your son has autism. Now, I was in the slow learning disability classes when I was a kid. I've always dealt with certain things. I have never been diagnosed with autism. I have said in the past, and I will say it again, I definitely have autistic traits. You know, or folks who call themselves normal wouldn't call me crazy for painting every day since August 1st, 2014. That's my autistic powers. Because anybody I've ever met throughout my life, because I was in classes with the autistic kids, I've just, you know, I don't have that. I most likely am, from all the tests I have taken just online since people have told me, I most likely have Asperger traits. So, you know, when you showed me that side of yourself, and you did a couple times, I was like, you know, Lou may have his moments where he wants to just take the piss out of everybody. And that's his thing. But he also says, in real life, he'd probably hug and shake any one of our hands unless we crossed the line. And then the bouncer in him would come out and he'd squish you like a bug. But I don't think if you came up to Lou and said, hey, I'm this person from online, we've talked online a million times, I'm seeing you in person, I don't think Lou would just attack you. I'm sorry. You know, he attacks online maybe when he has his bad days like all of us do, but I don't know. I haven't abused them at all. I mean, the first few days and maybe even week, I was taking them just like they said, 4 every single day. Every single 6 hours, I took another one because it hurt. It hurt. But, you know, when, like, famous people kill themselves because they're on antidepressants that could give them side effects that could make them lose their mind enough to kill themselves, it affects people like me. That's why when he died, I did like 4 cover songs. And I hit it well. I put on a show for y'all. I did a karaoke. I went on with my painting. I never even brought it up. And who knows if I'm going to bring it up again after this. But it's something that needs to be talked about every once in a while. Because it hits us all. I mean, I'm going to hopefully be back to work in a couple of weeks so I don't go so stare crazy. You know, that's what's going on with me. That's why I started like, hey, I'm going to go out and do these edited vlogs. And, we did lose a great rocker. But you're right. We didn't lose him, Mark. We got him in video form and music forever. I don't think you would give hugs or promises to that coward, Lou, but they're not going to meet you in public. I'll tell you what, if you're ever in the Tennessee area and you say, I've made it to Tennessee, I'm at the Hard Rock Cafe, Lou, I would drive to the Hard Rock Cafe to meet you. Because I personally don't think, unless I've ever attacked you, would you go into bouncer mode. But this was my episode about depression, anti-depression. I love you guys. Thanks for listening to me. I read every single comment. I'm sorry I did not comment back to every single one of you. If you want to leave a comment down below after this video is over, you know, that's fine. And Lou, yeah, I don't think Chris is the guy at all. But this one's over for now. I just wanted to make it about 25 minutes and let you guys know I love you all, and that's why I'm staying positive. That's why I go be Mr. Positivity. That's why I try to teach my kids to be positive. That's why even after a month without work, my boss positively wants me to come back to work, and I can't wait. Much love across the globe, and I truly mean that. I love every single one of you unconditionally.